Hi, it's Leo DiCroce here for Neocode Software, and I'm excited to show you how to create a zip file on an iPad or an iPhone using FileMaker Go. Now, let's say you have a record with separate containers for pictures, movies, and documents. Instead of creating separate emails for each container, I'll show you how you can zip them and send a single email. Here we have my iPad, actually my wife's iPad, running FileMaker Go. I will start the file. I'll open up the file. It's a simple file. We see two containers on the top. One is holding a sample.xml file, and another container is holding a PNG picture file. On the bottom is the button that launches the script. The script creates a zip file and attaches it to an email. Simple. Which I will email to myself and send. In my mail program, I see that Margie has sent me an email with a zip attachment. I open it up to confirm that it contains the XML and the PNG we saw on the iPad. Let's take a look under the hood now. I'll switch to FileMaker Pro Advanced. I'm using FileMaker Pro 13 here, and I'll open up two files. The first is a local file. This is the file that you would see on your iPad or iPhone. The second file is on the server. I'll open it up remotely. This hosted file is the file that does all the heavy lifting. This is the file that actually creates the zip file. FileMaker Go doesn't allow you to create a zip file on its own. First of all, because FileMaker Pro doesn't have a script step that says zip, and also because FileMaker Go doesn't allow the use of plugins. I use plugins to create the zip file on the server. I use ScriptMaster. Thank you to 360works. It was quite helpful. That plugin is essential for making this work. Straight out of the box, though, it wasn't complete. I had to add 3 modules to ScriptMaster. I'll show you which 3. Those of you familiar with ScriptMaster know that you need to register the module on startup for it to work, which is what I've done here. The ones that I added are one called zipdir. It creates a zip of a directory or a folder. The one out of the ScriptMaster box is called zip file. It only zips a file. I also added a module called create folder and another one called export container. But let's concentrate on the local file for now, because it's the local file that tells the hosted file what to do. How does it do that? Well, first it creates a record on the host that mirrors the local content. Now, I learned this technique from Catherine Russell, who wrote a white paper on syncing. I'll show you how it works. In the relationship diagram, we see a very simple relationship between a local system table and a hosted, I call it a KMZ imports table. What's important here is the relationship between a global variable called gpivot and the primary key for KMZ imports. This is also important, the allow creation of records in this table. The script that takes advantage of this relationship is a script called create record on host. The relationship is set up first by clearing the gpivot and then setting a field in the host. This actually creates a record in the host and defines the relationship between local and host at the same time. I think Catherine Russell does a better job explaining the intricacies of what's going on here. If you're curious to understand it better, I suggest going to FileMaker's TechNet and looking for her paper on syncing. Back to the host now. I'll show you a group of scripts that use a new FileMaker 13 script step called perform script on server. This group is shown here. These 4 scripts are very similar. They each have a perform script on server that calls a script within its own file. So this one is matched with this one with that one, and so on. And these all get called from the local file. So let's jump back to the local file. You'll notice a series of steps 1 through 6, and these are called sequentially from the email zip master. The email zip master is the script that gets launched when the user clicks the create and email zip file, the blue button. It's self-explanatory how or what each script does. Step 1 uploads the file. Step 2 creates a temporary folder on the host. Step 3 saves the files to the folder. Step 4 zips the folder. Step 5 downloads the zip from the host to the iPad. And finally, step 6 emails the zip. So if we launch the script here, you'll notice that a record gets created on the host and a series of notes are created to tell you exactly what happened. So let's do that. The dialogues that are appearing here are for the benefit of the developer to understand. To understand what's going on in each step. So the host now has the KMZ zip file that was created and then downloaded to the local file as well. And if you want to know where all of that got stored, that information is available here, where you can see where all the temporary files went. So if you'd like to save your users time, instead of creating a separate email for each container, try zipping the containers and emailing a single attachment from your iPad or iPhone. For more information, please visit neocodesoftware.com.